Hi everyone, it's me, Samantha Letois. Welcome to UCTV. Today's show is Monday. Oh, Monday. It's Monday 18, 2020. People, I know everybody, it's just the day. Do you take your morning coffee? I hope that yes. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. Let me say, everybody, welcome one more time to UCTV. Today's show is sponsored by Gilead because Gilead made things possible. And Gilead made this perfectly. So, Gilead, thank you so much for helping Unity Coalition and also to run this show. Everybody, we have an amazing guest today, people that we have to talk to start our Monday day with the best attitude and the best energy. Let me tell you that we have more and more to talk about it. But before I do so, I would like to introduce our amazing man, Her Sosa, which is gonna run the show with me just to give you more information about today UCTV on Monday. Hi, Her, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing good. You're very handsome with that white.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It's your eyes. It's your eyes. You think I'm handsome? We please see the incredible looking group of people that we have to talk to today. We're going to start with ARYAH Lester and tell us where ARYAH is from. Where is she going to be talking?
Yes, ARYAH is the deputy director for the Transgender Strategy Center. So transgender community stay connected with us because we have too much to talk about the future and the rest continue for the 2020 year, right?
Absolutely. And the
Then
Transgender Strategy Center, this Transgender Strategy Center out of Washington D.C., and as she'll explain to us, is really a national support group, and we're really excited to hear all the great things that ARYAH is doing there. And also we have DEE WEINGARDEN. DEE WEINGARDEN is visiting us from LA. Via satellite, of course, via camera. But Dee is a good friend. Dee is somebody that's been part of Transart. She's been part of our family at Unity Coalition for a while, and she's went on to adventures in California, and can't wait to talk to her about what's going on over there. Who else do we have today?
And then we have LaMAR LJ. He's a Powerman coordinator and Empowerment U Community Health Center. So people, he's my friend. He's really handsome. I know that you're gonna love it. So stay connected because UCTV on Mondays today, 4 p.m. Remember here on Facebook, and then 5 p.m. on Instagram and YouTube. Remember, Micro Giving Fund is out there to help the service community, bartender, drag queen, because the coronavirus is affecting everybody. Yes, Unity Coalition is giving you these options just to help the community, right, Herba?
Absolutely. And I'm really excited about what you're going to be doing tomorrow night at 8 p.m. right here on Facebook. It's related to the Micro Giving Fund, but I hear you're going to be on a game show. What's that all about?
Exactly. We Gay Vista Social Club. So we're gonna have, let me tell you, people, join Gay Vista Social Club for gaming night tomorrow, Tuesday 19. Remember, tomorrow, Tuesday 19, just follow them, 8 p.m. Tomorrow, proceeds to support Micro Giving Fund by Unity Coalition, Coalición Unida for coronavirus crisis emergency tips for LGBT hospitality industry workers. So if you're ready, we are ready for you. See you tomorrow for gaming night, 8 p.m. Remember, and then Wednesday, May 20. Remember, 4 p.m. here on Facebook Live, and then 5 Instagram and YouTube. We're gonna talk more about something that has happened and affecting more of our community, Latin, Hispanic, Indigenous. We're gonna talk about immigration, and we have this powerful woman, Sasha Westerman. So, people, you got to follow Unity Coalition on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Activate your account, follow us, and then stay tuned for everything that happened. Thank you to Gilead for making this an amazing show and giving us the opportunity to give you more information to the people, LGBT community, Unity Coalition. Go to the website www.unitycoalition.org o en español coaliciónunida.org para que puedas saber. Nosotros también hablamos en español y en inglés para toda nuestra comunidad latino, hispana e indígenas de aquí del sur de la Florida del 2002. Así que déjenme decirle, Friday, May 22nd or 22nd, 2020, 4 p.m. Remember, we're going to have Charlie Vasquez, which is an artist from New York City. I saw him on Instagram. He's really amazing. I know. You see Got Talents on Friday, remember. That's why we bring people for Got Talents, honey. And Julián Rego, which is a musician, Caracas, Venezuela. Mi gente de Venezuela, les mando un excelente saludo. Ya sabes que si necesitas alguna información durante esta temporada de crisis del coronavirus, Micro Giving Fund existe para toda la comunidad LGBT del servicio de la salud. Si usted perdió el empleo, si usted se quedó sin empleo, le queremos recordar para toda la comunidad de que Micro Giving Fund está aquí por parte de Unity Coalition. Lo más importante es que todo el dinero que se ha recolectado estará directamente para la comunidad. Quiere decir que nosotros no sostenemos ninguna parte del dinero, todo va directamente para usted. Ingrese a la página web coalicionunida.org en español, deslice hasta donde dice Micro Giving Fund, el símbolo verde que encuentra con las dos manos, puede llenar el formato y envíele lo más directo para que pueda llenar su aplicación. Pero también puede donar y lo más importante es que su donación, si usted no la puede hacer, puede compartirlo en las redes sociales para que otra persona pueda donar con nosotros. Right here?
Right. That was the mouthful. I'm excited now. I think ARYAH is ready to be interviewed by you. And
hey, ARYAH.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my lovely diva. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well.
I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you. I know that we tried this before, but we are here. We are family, and we're stronger. Let me ask you something. I know, and everybody knows that you work as in the Transgender Strategy Center. Tell me more about what is the Transgender Strategy Center.
Well, the Transgender Strategy Center is a national organization led by all trans individuals. We're mostly trans people of color. Me, myself, as a Black woman of trans experience, we have people of color in our leadership. We have a lot of different arms that we work in. One is leadership development. We have a couple of programs that we work with. One with an organization, Positive Women's Network USA, called RISE, and another one called the Masterclass with Valerie Spencer's Holistic Empowerment Institute. And we help trans women and trans people of color really cultivate and build up their skill set for program development, starting their own organizations, or just developing themselves as leaders. We also offer capacity building and technical assistance to trans-led organizations. And we have an educational piece. We work with some of the big corporations in the country and in the world as far as inclusion and diversity. So we have a lot of great members of our faculty and a lot of great members of our general consultant pool all around the United States.
That's pretty amazing. That's awesome, especially for our community as a transgender person. I said, like, this is a great opportunity for us just to be out there in a professional environment. It's such amazing idea. But let me ask you something. Is this locally or nationally? Because remember, the Unity Coalition right now is globally, so we are getting in every single corner of the world. And there are so many people in different countries out there of the U.S. territory that maybe they want to know this and maybe try to implement as something that can help them.
Well, right now we work with national organizations, so different states within the United States. We offer our capacity building and technical assistance through a couple of grants that we have, such as the Transcend Grant through Destination Tomorrow and Gilead, which is a sponsor of this show. But we also are involved with the creation and the development of requests for proposals, or RFPs, that really kind of and looking at the language and the inclusion when it comes to trans and TGNC agencies, and that does have a global impact, along with our corporate education program has a global impact as well.
That's pretty great. I hope that in the future we can still implementing and go more out there of the U.S. territory, so we can spread this to different countries and help them. That's pretty amazing. I would like to ask you something more specific about what are the biggest needs for the trans community right now.
Well, we work with a lot of organizations that are on the ground, grassroots and trans-led. And what we've been hearing is one, access to healthcare. A lot of individuals are finding that the community-based organizations, the big, more generally LGBT or just community health organizations, have their doors closed as far as healthcare. And as people of transgender or gender nonconforming experience, we already deal with a lot of issues when it comes to healthcare. So this situation that we have right now is making that a lot harder. And we also see a big need for food and for housing as well for our community members.
That's awesome. That's that's more than actually our community that we can do. There are like we understand that if we want to collect this information from the first hand, it has to be by different organization running by transgender leaders that has to be out there and like coordinate with this program. That's pretty great. Tell me about your journey. How's your journey? How you get there? How you can inspire? Because personally, for me, you are just my inspiration, and you know that I told you several times. Every time that I see you since the first time that you are the mother of trans art, and we want to say thank you for everything that you just built. You just put the rock and run away, and then there are so many people that we come and we want to be part of them. But how we can go there? Or how was your journey?
Well, it wasn't easy. I can tell you that it was very hard. Even being the founder and executive director at Trans Miami, the first trans organization for Miami-Dade County there in South Florida, I still experience bouts of homelessness. I still experience long periods of unemployment or just making it with little gigs here and there. And it was just some internal endurance that we have as communities of color, as Black people specifically, as a woman. It was just those little things here and there, along with just a really great support system, including Herb Sosa here on this TV show, that really helped support my creativity and also make sure that I didn't get emotionally or mentally kind of capped to where I could continue going till opportunities arose that brought me on a more national visibility and now on a more global presence as well. So it has been a journey, but it's been a lot of work. And, it's just pushing yourself as far as you can go and grabbing every opportunity available and making sure that you keep your vision and that you just don't let anything stop you.
That's pretty great. All right, personally, I want to ask you something. Do you think a certification for a transgender woman is necessary or not?
No, I don't believe so. A degree or certification definitely will help your curriculum vitae or your resume and kind of getting jobs. But when you really look at it in the long term, the impact that someone said the Maya Angelou quote, people don't remember what you said or what you did. What they remember is how you make them feel. And when it comes to
Okay.
our TGNC life experience, we are subject matter experts in certain things that we've personally experienced. And it's taking a self assessment and identifying those things that you really are good at, and then learning a little bit of the crafting your story in order to kind of push your goals. and that's always important. So a certification and diploma and degree are definitely helpful, but not necessary.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. Sometimes we want to, just to, because we think that we have to, just to get some certification, or probably we have to do some journey in order to get this kind of job. But let me tell you personally, if you have that um, attitude, if you feel comfortable the way that you are smart, you know how to represent yourself as a professional person, you can be out there. You can be wherever you want to go, wherever you want to go. Personally, I think that that's something that is you inside, if you want to get that decision and be out there the person that you want to be, and no matter what. But the most important is just to be in a friend or respect to everybody, right? Araya, let me ask you, honey, how to be a diva, how to be an icon, how to be out there. Are you coming to Miami?
As soon as all of this is over, as soon as before I would have said when we got out of quarantine, but now no, just when it's safe, because they're letting people out before they should be. Being a so-called diva is a lot of work and it's very expensive, but you gotta kind of shoulder those things on your own, and that's what I do. So, a lot of good skincare. I try to schedule 2 days out of the week to do my whole skincare routine. That's helpful physically and mentally. And just having good product and application, and just knowing, us trans people, especially trans women, we just know how to put ourselves together.
I think that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful. And by the
I
way,
agree.
thank you for the wonderful compliments, Araya. But it's you did it all on your own. And I'd like to ask you, since we are friends, and I did see a lot of the behind the scenes of, we've talked about this before. It broke my heart to see you go and speak in front of hundreds of people, corporations, universities, and quite candidly, not having enough to eat that day, or to, catch the bus even. And even if you could, a lot of times there was nowhere for you to go to, because you were really not stable with a home at the time. So, we've talked about a lot of this privately. How do you stay motivated? How do you tell someone else in your shoes, hang in there, hang in there? It does get better. Beyond just a little infomercial. I mean, how do we really motivate all of our community, but specifically trans women of color?
Well, it's realizing that those benefits are only received when you hang in, and when you push yourself. Um, I had a plan. I had a plan many years ago, to where I knew that I had to devote some of my energy and some of my time to do some volunteer speaking engagements, or join a board as a volunteer, and kind of get the right networks, get to have people talk about your skills, your skill set, by showcasing those in as many situations as possible. And then slowly but surely I started getting paid for doing that, as I continued to push myself. And then your rate per hour goes up, the more visibility that you have, the more that people are talking about, how you make them feel. And so that's what I would say, is that perseverance. I wouldn't quite say, we use um, resilience a lot, but it's really more perseverance. Resilience, sometimes we think is just already there internally, but it takes effort to really just keep pushing. And I can never understate the importance of support. Even if you're going through a certain situation, just to know that people are in your corner, and know that people are pushing you, and know that you can do better, it helps you push yourself.
Well, I'd like you to talk to us about the program that we're
Absolutely.
extremely proud to continue in your name, which was TransArt. So I want you to tell us a little bit about what TransArt is, how it came about, what it continues to be, and then obviously that's a lead into it for you to introduce our next guest.
Yeah, well, I am an artist at heart. I'm a novelist and a poet, and and I've always had this connection to art and this way that I can express myself through it, or through reading or taking in someone else's art. So with Miami being such a center of art now worldwide, specifically with Art Basel and different other programs, it was like, well, why don't we combine that, and have a showcasing TGNC people and their art, and at the same time getting the general public to get educated with it. So I remember that one night at your house. It could have been over that chicken dinner that you cooked, and I talked about it, and you had the networks and the connections, like with the Betsy Hotel Endeavor there, to kind of take it from just a dream and something in my head to something that we can actually plan and then execute. And now we're in what, our 6th year? So yes, it was really a community effort. Even though it started in my head, it was the effort of the community that really helped push it forward. So I'm really happy to
So
see where it's at.
thank you for
Yeah.
so yeah, thank you for being the mother. You see, you're an icon, honey. We love you. We need you so much. I know that there's more Araya coming, honey. More information. We have our amazing, beautiful D Wayne Garden. Hi, beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my
We
goodness.
can't
We're having a
hear her.
little kinky here on Monday. Yes.
It's Monday. It's the day. I know. That's what I wear. This flower. It's a Monday and pearl.
Yes.
Beautiful.
It's a day. It's
Yes.
Monday.
Hi, Dean.
How are you doing? You look great. You look fantastic.
Thank
Thank you so much. And also, Raya, yeah, you too, my love. How's everything?
Is that a question for me? Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm happy to be alive. I am just like everybody. I'm pacing the days and filling my time. It's actually been kind of exciting because I've been keeping myself busy doing some art, which really talking about like trans art and Araya's quote of Maya Angelou. I can really just tell you, I can't begin to really put in words, even though give me a couple hours and I probably will. But the idea of how I felt my first time coming down to South Florida for trans art, and just the sense of family and welcome that I received from Unity Coalition. Herb and Araya were just made sure everything was all taken care of. I mean, really, it was just a love fest and a love blast. So it was incredible. It's really amazing to think 6 years. It seems like I was there at the first one and the second one, and things like, what is 6 years? Which is really fantastic. And it was so exciting to actually see. Um, I'm someone that started my transition 40 years ago this month in 1980. And to go from that to all of a sudden now we have an art exhibit that is specifically for trans and non-binary artists and creatives. And that was the most exciting and almost kind of out of body of experience. Like I just couldn't believe this was really happening. And I met the most amazing people. It really was, as I frequently say, just a love fest. And it's always this incredible to be involved with something that shows the creative side of our community. And that was so important because we really love a lot of times the trauma of our community. And the bad news reports seem to kind of get lots and lots of press. Unfortunately, our community, we suffer murders and deaths, and those things make the press. But we're always kind of looking for, is there a little bit more than that, just the trauma report? And so this was so exciting to kind of express ourselves in that way. And it changed my whole focus. I mean, being honest, I came back uh, a different artist with a kind of a really expanded purpose.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I know. So everybody knows that you guys are artists, and I hope that you still connecting with trans art because Remember that now Trans Art is our lab in connection with Bright Lines. So we have 365 days open gallery for transgender individual and not only transgender, gender non-binary, gender non-conforming. So we are still looking for artists. We are called artists. So everybody is welcoming, and I want you to continue be the second mother of trans art, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for that title. I'm putting it on my resume. But
Absolutely,
yeah, it's
just
exciting.
save
That's a
that for
great
me.
space there at Pride Lines. I remember being there for Diana Hemingway's exhibit. Um, and it was really, it's a lovely space. So it's exciting.
That's awesome. Dee, I have a question for you. What brought you to Los Angeles?
A lot of it was an art decision. Originally, I was thinking I really was all
I
set to
know.
move to Miami, and it was kind of a little bit. I was living on the Gulf Coast of Alabama, and I was thinking like, do I turn right and go to Miami? Do I turn left and go to LA? Um, and I was all really set to go to Miami because I felt like, oh, I'm coming home. I'm with my people. And then became represented by a gallery here in Los Angeles. And that's when I realized, like, oh, this is like being in a relationship. You actually need to be in LA to kind of really pursue this. And to be honest, the big push was when Trump got elected. I really felt like, oh, I'm in the middle of this Republican portion of the country. And so I real quickly thanked them for a wonderful time and wished them well, and then immigrated to the country of California. So, yeah, this is great. This is one of my drawings. A lot of my drawings are very technical, very fine line detail. My art instructor when I was in grade school, this was back in the day when a teacher could kind of call you a sissy or a queer and would make fun of
Pretty
you.
amazing.
And she would say, you'll never be able to draw a straight line. Well, now my artwork is considered of nothing but straight lines from point A to point B. Some may be 1700, some may be 5200, but I draw straight lines. So Inez, thank you for the encouragement.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm doing it. And I have to always work this in because it's my nerdy excitement. But the light sail, which is a consumer craft that is orbiting the Earth, has one of my drawings on it. So I am universal. I'm having the time of my life. I'm having a lot of fun. But the drawing that you showed up earlier is a series of transition drawings that shows the movement of coming from one place to the other and kind of the storm that takes place during our transition. But I also really wanted to show that our transition is not all painful. It's not all filled with wanting and waiting and being denied and what was sometimes feels like bowing down before the medical society. It can be beautiful. So it's a little bit of chaos and a little bit of storm in the drawing, but I really wanted it to show that it was something beautiful, our movement, and that the whole process. I hear a lot of sometimes people say, oh, I can't wait till I finish my transition. And I'm like, I hope I never finish. I just keep becoming a better version of myself. I stay in my purpose. I do what I need to do my work and to keep moving forward. I liked what ARYAH said, resilience, kind of that ability to bend out breaking is internal. Sometimes it's just the tenacity. Sometimes it's boldness. Sometimes my motivation in those days was just anger. And it wasn't always the most mature, but it was just kind of like, okay, I'll show you. All right. Because there wasn't always a seat or even the door open, at the table, door open to get in the room. So art has really opened a lot of doors for me.
I know. And quick question, is this like a therapy for you? Because honestly, I don't have that passion that, maybe I have my sewing machine and do some other kind of things, but drawing and especially like straight lines, girl.
Creativity is, I think, a part of our human nature. We all have a creative expression. Some people
There you
sing,
go.
some people can organize, some people have a real spirit of welcome that just make you, and that's really creative. And it's always never really about just drawing a straight line. Of course, my work, a lot of my drawing is straight lines, but we all have creative outlets. for me, what's really interesting was after coming to California, I have PTSD, as many trans women do, from assault and violence and just multiple layers. And I begin to take, whenever, I don't really call them panic attacks, I call it more of a fear attack. I just have an overwhelming sense of fear and I can't really put my finger on it or direct it anywhere. So for a whole year, whenever I felt that, I took a selfie. And I remember kind of in the old home economics class of like 6th and 7th grade, they talked about if you bent over in front of a mirror and your face kind of falls forward a little bit, that's what you'll look like when you're 50. Well, now I'm in my 50s. So I kind of go back to that same thing and I actually bend over to the camera. So my face falls forward a little bit. And they're very kind of harsh, grotesque, black and white selfies. And I think for so many years, as a trans woman wearing makeup, that was my cover. I didn't want anyone to see a beard or a growth or anything. You know, makeup was what got you in the door, what made people recognize you as feminine. And so, yeah, I take them when I'm having a fear attack and I have no makeup on. And they're very raw and very vulnerable. Okay. And my hair is kind of all over the place to kind of show a little bit of the chaos of emotions. And it's been very healing. It started some incredible conversations with people through Instagram. Just talking. Awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I check it out your Instagram. I check it out your Instagram. I'm sorry. I check it out your Instagram and I see that you post every single detail. Like one part of your Instagram, you just put one art of your personal art and then picture of yourself. I've been checking a lot. We're gonna talk about this, but I have a very, very good question for you. Tell me about the Weingarden Care Center.
Oh, thank you. This I'm really excited about. You know, a lot of my ticket out of being homeless and being fired from jobs years ago was I thought I need to have a job where I have some security. And so I pursued nursing and became a registered nurse. And after I arrived here in California, throughout life being a nurse, you would have friends that would have gender affirming surgeries and they would reach out to you and say, could you help me? I'm having a breast augmentation, or I'm having FFS, or I'm having this or that, you know, or whether it was vaginoplasty or phalloplasty, and you offer care for your friends. I arrived here in LA and it kind of continued. I met friends, I met people, and people just started helping. And so I began to realize there were so many people that were having these gender affirming surgeries that were very life-saving. But honestly, I felt so bad inside of my heart that I was getting messages from people saying, I'm flying in to have my top surgery. Does anybody have a couch I can crash on? And I realized, oh, these people, they're waiting for these life-saving surgeries and there's no one to care for them. And that was really just heartbreaking. Like I said, out of 40 years of transition, I really feel like, aha, this is really moving into what I feel will be, I would still do my art and would still do healing with that, but I feel like this would be my best work. I want better for our community. Personally, I feel like if it's time that we issue a report card to these healthcare companies that are making money off our community, but are not offering scholarships. You don't have a trans person or a non-binary person that works in your clinic, but you don't want to offer any money for a scholarship to send someone to school. So I feel like we need to give you a failing grade. You know, trans events show up. I'm very critical. Like, where are they? But they're making a lot of money off providing these surgeries. So I just said, you know what? Nothing for us and by us. I want to take care of people after they have these gender affirming surgeries when they don't have anyone to care for them. And it's just started out by word of mouth. And so it's now an official business. And I waited until Uni Coalition's UCTV to get the scoop. And so it's going live. So yes, it's official.
Is the red light on? Is the red light on?
Yes, the shingle is on, door is open. Get your checkbook and come on. So what I want to do is I'm providing in total care, using all of my resources and skills and knowledge as a registered nurse to help you recover at your best, at your premium. I want to give you everything you can to be successful. You've done the hard work. Ma'am.
Is this only just a quick question? Is this service only for transgender individual, non-binary, gender non-conforming, or it could be for somebody else specifically?
Specifically, my focus is going to be on trans and non-binary people who are having affirming surgeries. I have done
Okay.
some, this is Los Angeles, so I do a lot of fill-in work, so to speak, on the schedule of taking care of people after they have facelifts and plastic surgery. And it's, believe me, there's plenty of work here. But what I want is, it's just, I've written content. It's a matter of recording content on like helpful hints to kind of help support your recovery. If you don't want to hire me, I don't want to hoard the resources. I still want you to get the information, the recipes, to use food as medicine, to get the right healing and the right nutrition so that you can lower your inflammation and give you the energy to recover and to really do well. But I really look at it from a loving, very kind of Aunt D sort of way, the holistic, the whole person. I want to make sure your emotions are okay. I want to support you through your recovery. But importantly, I want to make sure that it's safe, it's free of infection and complications, and that you continue to go on. And I don't know, it's really exciting. In fact, this weekend, I just booked 2 out-of-town phalloplastic recoveries. So those will be 3-week assignments. So I'm really excited about that. So I traveled with the patient internationally, and I'm also available to travel domestically and do a lot of work in Los Angeles and in San Francisco, and obviously with Dr. Crane in Austin, Texas. So it's available. The hope is that eventually, and I'm a big dreamer, but I just think eventually there will be people that will want to scholarship and donate funds to pay for someone to have the recovery care who can't afford it. And I wished I could take care of everyone for free, and I can't. I have to support myself. But this is where I'm at right now. And I'm so excited and so humbled to really offer this for our community. And like I said, over the 40 years, I could have never imagined we'd be at this point, like, hey, we're actually having a business that's focused on recovering and taking care of people. There's a lot of recovery houses, and those are great. This is just a private thing where I'll actually come into your home, your apartment, or your rented Airbnb or a hotel room and take care of you. I stay round the clock. We have different options. You can do 4 hours or you can do 24. You can have me come in and just do the meal prep. If you have FFS and you draw, you can't able to chew, I'll come in and I can give you all the nutrient and inflammation and healing type smoothies, prepare them in your home, and stock them, label them all up for you. And anyway, I could go on and on about it the rest of the evening. I'm very, very excited. It's time. And I think that we as a community, and I can say this because I have a historical perspective, so much of the time, and so many of us have just accepted the bare minimum that was offered by our healthcare communities. And so now is the time to say no. You're making a lot of money off our community, but besides providing this surgery is not giving back to the community. That's just providing a fee for service. But what are you really doing for our community and how so I'm very emboldened now here in LA to push forward. I want more.
Your community cannot possibly have a better ally or a better support system. Not ally, you're part of the community, but I just have to interject here. For those of you that don't know Dee on a personal level like the rest of us do, she is this nice, and this is her all the time. I'd be hard-pressed to think of anybody that is more motivating, that is more uplifting all the time. And I thank you for that. Even during this crisis, honest to God, several times I've gone on Facebook and I've just been like, oh, I can't do this anymore. And you're there with some wonderful, cheery, uplifting message. And that's appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's there's enough empathy to go around that when we have those moments and we need a little bit of empathy, particularly during a pandemic, it seems to be kind of amplified that our grief and our feelings, our trauma, our loss, all of that, it needs to be witnessed.
Right.
We feel like we need to tell somebody, we need to be seen. But it's a little bit, what do you do in those non-moments? And so, yeah, I'm happy to be alive. I'm so grateful to live this life. Yeah, and I do have to say, seeing you guys, I do kind of remember and think about it. Makes me kind of smile and nod and say today to Henrietta Robinson, thanks, girl.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah. What a lovely person. She was so fun to meet and just kind of that real nonchalantness. I don't know how else to describe it, but
He's an amazing person.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you, Dee, for coming on the show today. You are more than welcome. This is your home, not just Miami, but Unity Coalition and UCTV. We'd love to have you back.
thank you. I'm going to book my flight when ARYAH books hers when it's safe. I'm headed right there. It'll be homecoming.
There you go. You can see at the bottom of the screen all the websites, Transgender Center, these websites, all the different websites at the bottom of it. But for now, we have to say goodbye to Dee. Bye.
Create your day, folks, and make it a great one. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You as well. And it's all for ARYAH.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies.
What an amazing. And then we are ready for the next guest. Remember, everybody, Unity Coalition is here to help our community. There are so many people out there that we lost our jobs. Bartenders, waiters, drag queen, dancers, all service community for the LGBT, they lost their job, they can apply. Unity Coalition is helping for the Micro Giving Fund emergency tips, coronavirus crisis. This is just the time for help the people. Let's us to help you. Go to unitycoalition.org, scroll down until you see the Micro Giving Fund coronavirus logo, fill it out the application, and then send them right away. But the most important is we need your help in order to help other people. Go and donate. Go to the website and donate using your PayPal account, whatever you have, honey. And every single coin going right away to that community. We don't hold any coin. But if you don't have money, share on social media. There's somebody else that's going to help us, right?
Absolutely, Samantha. Absolutely. And, Dee mentioned the recent loss of Henrietta, which was an icon, not just in the trans community, living as a trans woman for over 50 years in South Beach, but so many others in our community that we've lost. And unfortunately, just this morning, we found out that another ally, an incredible person who I had the privilege of working with, who actually helped us a lot at the beginning when Unity Coalition was being created. She helped mentor us a lot, and that was Hetty Benya. Hetty was the director at the time of SAVE here in South Florida, and really just did an incredible job. So I'd like to just take a moment to honor Hetty. Yeah, our community is, we're constantly losing people. We're constantly, whether it's through tragedy, whether it's through illness, all of our communities, the LGBTQA plus community is
everybody is involved and everybody just exposed to it. And no, every day we just lost our family and close friends for the pandemic or the COVID-19 is more than that. But just keep it safe. It's not because it's this. There are so many people that have other disease and other kind of like things. Just keep it safe. Wear gloves and masks and protect your lovers. Not only for you. There's somebody that you love and protect them.
And we're going to have our guest LaMAR McMULLEN on in a few minutes. But before we do, why don't you tell us a little bit about the next couple of shows that you have coming up?
Yes, next couple show that we have this week, we have on UCTV Got Talents. It's gonna be amazing. But before that, remember Sasha Westerman is gonna be with us on the Wednesday, May 20, 4 p.m. here on Facebook, and then 5 on Instagram and YouTube. Don't forget to visit the website unitycoalition.org o en español coaliciónunida.org. Este miércoles vamos a hablar con la abogada de inmigración, Sasha Westerman. Si usted tiene preguntas, tiene cualquier cosa, conéctese a través del Facebook, sus comentarios serán bien recibidos para que usted pueda saber qué está pasando durante toda esta pandemia con inmigración. If you want to know what's going on with immigration, stay connected on Wednesday because Sasha is going to talk about the new update for the UCIA department and everything that she knows about it. And remember, Friday, UC Got Talents, May 22, 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and I'm sorry, Facebook, 5 p.m., Instagram and YouTube. We're going to have music. Charlie Vasquez is an author from New York City, and Julian Reco is a Venezuelan guy. He's really handsome. Musician from Caracas City. So, mi gente, stay connected, quédese conectados. El viernes de Tiene Talento de Unity Coalition TV Tiene Talento. Van a estar estos dos artistas, uno desde New York City y el otro es venezolano, conectados justamente con la música para que usted tenga entretenimiento. Recuerda que este programa está siendo hecho por Gilead, gracias a Gilead. Y aquí tenemos, there we have our amazing guest from UCTV Monday, LaMAR. Hey, LaMAR, welcome.
Hey, how are you, Samantha?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy to have you here. Finally, I know that you've been waiting, but we have too much to talk about the empowerment because you're the empowerment coordinator and also from the Empower You Community Health Center. Tell me about that. How is that work?
Okay, so Empower You has been open for over 20 years in the community. And what the mission was to make sure that we target those that were living with HIV and AIDS, and to actually get them into care. You know, it started from two young ladies. It started from the trunk of their cars, and now they opened a major facility located at 7900 Northwest 27th Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33147, Suite E12. And what we are now, like we went from there 20 years ago, now we're at a storefront. We're not necessarily a storefront, but we're in the shopping plaza, right in Northside Shopping Plaza, and we are a federally qualified health center. So we also service people who are living with HIV, negative people, high-risk negatives, heterosexuals, LGBT. We have many programs that can go on for days. So, yeah, that's what Empower You is and what we do in the community. We're there to provide resources and information for the community that I serve or that we serve. Because it's not just an I thing, it's a we thing. You know, like we're all in this together. We can't save the human race by just one person. It has to be a gathering or a community. Absolutely. So, yeah, that's what
LaMAR, let me ask you something. All this service that you guys provided, is this free? There are people that need to be insurance, no insurance. How does this work?
Okay, so with that being said, we do have it both ways. We have a sliding scale. Depending on how much you make or whatever the case may be, we do have things that are free. And yeah, so you will never know until you actually find out. So once again, you can dial us at 786-318-2337. That's once again 786-318-2337, or come visit us down at the Northside Shopping Plaza, which is once again 7900 Northwest 27th Avenue, Suite E12 in the Northside Shopping Plaza.
That's pretty amazing. Let me ask you something before I continue. There are so many people people of color that is living right now with the HIV and other diseases, not only for disease for infection, for sexuality, but there are so many things out there. Let me ask you something. You as a leader for the community, how do you know that people right now, LGBT in color, is living during this quarantine time? Because it's a hard time.
So, me being a person of color that is a part of the LGBT community and that is also HIV positive, I can only speak from my own experience and what I've been told.
That's pretty great. Thank you.
Is definitely like what I've been going through. It's somewhat of isolation, and also depression. You know, because we're used to the community itself, not only the colored people or the brown people or what we everybody, right? Like we're used to actually being in one space. Hey, how you doing? What's going on, baby girl? Like, give me a hug. You know what? Like, and all of that good stuff. But now, since this whole pandemic thing, right? So since this whole pandemic thing has started, right? like now we have to like scale back a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you already know Samantha when I see you, hey baby, what's going on? Give me a hug, give me a little kiss, whatever the case may be. But now it's just like, wait, like I need 6 feet, baby. Like I need back up. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a devastating moment where we all have to experience this, not only in the LGBT community once again, but also in the cisgender community as well. You know, so this is our new norm. Basically, this is
It's a
literally
new
our new
life,
norm.
and it's affecting, as you said, it's a new life and it's affecting everybody. I just put that question out there because sometimes, especially for me, being for the Latin community, Latinos,
Mhm.
we have so much on our culture that doesn't allow to how to act, especially in this time. And I
Mhm.
probably know is it like the pain of your culture, your community, Haiti, Jamaica, is
Right,
it's gonna
right,
be like really hard for you to
right.
survive, especially in this time.
Yep.
But I got another question for you. What is the biggest challenge for our community of color and LGBT?
The biggest challenge that I've seen so far is the ability to receive and retain information that is given. Meaning to say, because even though we're giving the information pertaining to HIV or COVID-19, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're adhering to it. And sometimes it has to take one person to actually look on where it actually stems from. So Empower You had a segment maybe last year, if not last year, the year before, February the 7th, which was National Black HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. And what we did on that day, the topic of conversation was guess who's coming to dinner. And a lot of people was just like, well, what do you mean? Guess who's coming to dinner? Or guess what's coming to dinner? No, what was coming to dinner or who was coming to dinner was the HIV conversation and what it looked like in our community. So some of us, as an African American gay man or whatever the case may be, like those conversations never was had. Let me just speak for myself. This is my I statement. I never had that conversation in my home. Like it didn't come from my mother, father, grandparents, friends, nobody at all. Like it was an inherited thing, right? It was literally where I was listening to the information that was given, but it didn't mean that I was retaining the information. Like it was literally going in one ear and out of the other. So I do believe that the biggest challenge that we do face today is the ability to receive and retain information, and also still the biggest challenge today. Like, and I'm gonna say this clearly, like the biggest challenge is housing for the LGBT community, especially for the African American community, and not only that, but accessing care as well. And I'm not talking about accessing care for every 1 in 10 people. No, we're talking about literally everybody needs to access care and what it looks like. Because if we don't access care or we're not advocating for those people to access care and also access housing for the LGBT community, then what are we doing to actually move forward? We're still lacking in an area that's not helping. So something has to give. The community needs to actually create a forum or something that needs to happen in order for us to move forward. I don't know what it is, but letting me be the advocate, I know that I am a stand for it, and I am that leadership. I mean, like because I've only been in this field, the HIV field, for a little over maybe about 3 years now, whatever the case may be. But I still see some lacking information. I still see that there's a lack that's happening that I don't really understand what's going on, and it hurts me
Yeah,
to my core. And not only
it is really
the
hard.
gay men, but also the trans individuals as well. I stand for my people all around the world, regardless. So no
Regarding who
matter
they
age,
are,
race,
regarding who they
sexual
are.
identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion, like I'm here and I am engulfed and I am encompassed to actually taking what you guys have being a transgender woman, Samantha, and actually like putting that on my bone now, like putting that on my shoulders because I don't separate myself from the two. Like I'm together, I'm one. This is one body. We may have our different like LGBTQ plus or whatever the case may be, but we're all in the same
Yeah,
fight together. We fight for equality daily, and that's where our challenge is. Our challenge is to
the
stand
same
up and
umbrella.
fight for
The same
equality.
umbrella.
So yeah,
Yes.
that's
Lamar, let me ask you something. How was your participation in the project Outrun of the Sky?
so. Outrun the Sky is my baby. I'm saying baby, not necessarily saying that I birthed it, but I was able to submit an application to be a part of a docufilm. And out of maybe 20, 25 people, I was one of the five that they had chosen. And in this document, we talk about the barriers, right? And one of the barriers was accessing care for people, depression, what it was that the isolation looked like, regardless if it was suicide, regardless if it was addiction or whatever the case may be. And we're literally five African American gay men that comes from the five most important southern states from the South. Period. Like Miami being number one, Atlanta, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Jackson, Mississippi. Like we are five individuals that relate so much, and we come from different backgrounds. Like, and can you even imagine and believe that out of all five South, like we are high prevalence, the five high prevalence. So I mean, like in number Miami being number one once again. Miami being number one. And like,
I know.
it's sad to say that. It's really sad to say that. Like, and that goes back to the challenges. That goes back to the previous question that you just asked about the challenges and what those challenges may be in our community. Like, and I will always say it, access care once again. Housing.
Access to a better education. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What are those the disparities that actually is facing right now, and especially in this time for the season, that outbreak and everything? That's why I want to let you know we want to stay with you more and more time talking. There we have only 3 minutes. We want just to say to everybody, thank you so much for staying with us. But no, we are not leaving right now, honey. No, we still have time. We just want to control it and let you know. Let me ask you something, Lamar. If you people want
Okay.
to follow you, where we can follow you, there is a website. What is the next project that we have? Just short, and answer.
Okay, so short answer. Facebook, McMULLEN, McMullen. Lamar first name. That's my Facebook handle. On Instagram, you can follow with me at King_McMullen. That's King_McMullen. Or you can always stop by my office at Empower You Community Health Center, located at 7900 27th Avenue Northwest, 27th Avenue. Or just give me a call personally, 786 318-2337. That's the office number, and my extension number is 208. Thank you.
Oh my God. So there you go, everybody. So you got Lamar from Empower You. Everything that you need to know for our community, he is there for help you. I want to say, if you need more information, go to the website and check it out. unitycoalition.org o coaliciónunida.org en español. Community resources, where it's open, what's going on, what
Yeah.
is not going on, where you can go or where not. Everything that you need to know is on the website. I just want to say, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
Lamar.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Samantha. I appreciate you.
Stay connected. You're welcome so much. I hope to see you next time. Thank you, everybody. Remember, Wednesday with Sasha Westerland, we're going to talk about migration. And UC Got Talents on Friday. We have music. We have people from Venezuela. And we have a New York City outer. Can, singer, honey, everything is perfect. Thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Espero verlo en una próxima emisión. Recuerden, mi nombre es Samantha y esto se llama UCTV. Lunes, 4 de la tarde, 5, Instagram y YouTube. No se muevan, mi gente. Cuídense muchos. Bendiciones.